So the final component of this infographic series of lessons is by no means the final word on this, but what I want to also show you is how to insert charts. There's a lot of there's a lot of flexibility, a lot of play here, but I'm going to start with a bar graph. It allows you to insert a bar graph, as you can see down here. You can change the size of this, etc. But probably the most important thing about the bar graph is when you double click on it, it allows you to unlink from Sheets, which I don't recommend doing, but open in Sheets I do recommend doing, because what it allows you to do is see the foundation, the behind the scenes um, sheet for your um, graph. And why that's important is because you can actually edit it, tweak it, change it. So just as an example, and keep an eye on the graph itself, I'm going to change that first value from 224, pardon me, to 400. I hit enter, and you can see how drastically it skews the chart, and it will modify for you. I mean, you can do, I'll do that again, except I'll change the bottom one here, 400 as well, or 405. Ooh, it's going to be a little bit bigger. So you can see how different and how much it modifies um, the graph. So why this is important is because I go back to that Google Doc and I look at this graph, and still right now it's the way it was when I first put it on and placed it. But if I click update, it takes the information from the other sheet that I just changed, and you can see now this is that 400, the 405 that I put in, and it's updated. Now I could go back and edit it again. This screen's already open, so I'm just going to go back to here. The other thing, another thing you can do is you just simply click on the row, or sorry, column, in this case, column, and right click, and you can delete a column. Now, the reason I'm deleting the column is because I want to show you another feature. I'll go back and update this first so you can see that it still does modify. So now I've taken that whole second column of data out. You can add data and it will work as well, but by taking that data out, I'm going to show you the next thing, which is if I click on the graph in the sheets, I right click, and it allows me to go down here. I can edit and change this. I can change colors of the slides. I can change a lot of pieces of it. But one of the ones that I wanted to show you is the pie chart. Changing it to a pie graph. There's that 400 and 400 that I just modified. But I can go back here, update, and now I've got a pie graph instead. Frankly, I think the pie graph looks a lot better. Now, at this point, I usually go right click, and I go, I'm going to cut that. And students especially look at me like, what? We just made it. What are you doing? What I'm doing by cutting it is I'm allowing myself to go back in to drawing and insert that chart, not as a insert that chart as a drawing instead. And that has a lot of benefits. One of them is the fact that I don't like, especially with the pie graph, I don't like the layout that they give us. So I often crop that layout just so I get a cleaner, a tighter view on my on my graph. Just a lot cleaner, just a lot tighter. I like it. Um, and actually, I'm struggling to get it right now, but you get the idea. Sorry, I can't pull this corner in. There we go. No, that did not work. Here we go. Okay, so I get right in on the shape I want. And when I say save and close, you'll see it's a much cleaner space over here. The other thing that is really nice, and I think most people realize pretty obviously and pretty quickly, that another bonus to this is I can draw arrows on this. And again, just like before, I can change the colors of those arrows. I can change the size of those arrows. I can add text and change that up as well. You know what? Let's go high. Modify a lot of these things, and then when I reinsert it, it leaves me with a much more clean and effective use of that cell space. The other thing is you can copy and use that same chart multiple times, which is actually a really nice thing to be able to do. The one thing that doesn't work, which is unfortunate, is once you do copy and paste that chart, I can't go, oops, I meant 40, and go back. It'll change on here. See how there's the 8.1. It'll change on here, but when I go back here, I don't have the ability to edit once it's, once I copy and paste it as a drawing, or as a drawing. I can't automatically edit or update the way I did before.